Hello, Year 3. It is Monday again. We seem to come back to Mondays very quickly these days, and it's time for your spelling test. So get yourselves ready for your spelling test with your spelling book or a piece of paper if that's what you're doing it on, a pencil, and that's all you're going to need. And then we're going to jot down the date and the amount of spellings you have together in a moment. So get yourself ready, pause me if you need to, and then come straight back to me, ready for your spelling test. Okay, so you should be ready with the short date, which is the 1st of February now, February. You're going to need that, some of you. 21, and then the numbers down the side. So if you're in group number 1, you need 8. If you're in group number 2, you need 10. And if you're in group number 3 now, we've gone up to 12 spellings now because we're adding some of your Year 3 spellings in there as well. So now that you're ready, remember again, the rules for our spellings are, if you make a mistake and you need to rewrite it, cross it out and rewrite it again. Remember, you can pause me at any time if you need a bit of extra time to write down your spellings if I'm going too fast. And of course, you can rewind if you've missed one. So that's the bonus about having a recording for your spelling test. So remember that the spelling rule for this spelling test were words with 2 syllables, and we were adding the suffix ed, or ing, and the root word doesn't change. Okay, so this is quite easy if you were practicing these the way I asked you to last week. So remember, we've got the root word and then we're adding on that suffix. So that should give you a clue for how to do your spellings today. Okay, let's get started. So number 1 for everybody, gardening. I feel relaxed when I'm doing my gardening. Think about the root word and then the suffix. Well done. Number 2, offering. Offering. Number 3, limiting. Limiting. Well done. Number 4, focused. Focused. Try to be focused on each spelling. Remember to think about the sound you can hear and the suffix that we were adding. Number 5, gardener. My gardener comes every 2 weeks to cut my grass. Gardener. Number 6, focusing. Focusing. Number 7, offered. Offered. I offered the lady a lift home. Offered. Okay, number 8, this is the last one for group 1. Limited. Limited. We are quite limited in the way we are teaching at the moment. Limited. So group 1, you're done. Well done. Out of 8. Group 2 and group 3, I'm going to carry on. Okay, so number 9, benefiting. Benefiting. It is benefiting you to do your spelling test and practice your spellings. benefiting. Remember that the root word isn't changing. This was the one that tricked me a little bit. Number 10 and the last one for group 2, benefited. Same root word, different suffix. Benefited. Well done, group 2. That's you finished. Group 3, you've got 2 more. These are from your year 3 word list. So these don't follow a spelling rule. These are just words we want you to learn separately. So number 11, history. Our history topic is all about the Romans. History. Well done. And your last one, and I'm hoping you're going to get this right on the first day of this month. Remember, it is the name of a month, so you can only get your point for this spelling if you do something at the beginning of this word. February. Remember last week I told you that I said it in a certain way to remind myself how to spell it. February. I'll be impressed if you get that right this week. On the 1st of February. Well done, group 3. That's your number 12. That's all 12 spellings done. So remember, you can ask a parent to mark them for you, or you can send us your spelling list that you've done today, and we will reply with your score. Well done, everybody. Pause the video now just so you can get your spellings marked or get a picture taken of them ready to send across to us. And I just want to say, Mrs. Gray, Mrs. Davis and I are really impressed with all of those children who are sending their results in every week, because we are actually recording them as we would in school, so we can keep a log of how you've got on with your spellings every week. So well done if you're sending them across. If you haven't managed it, maybe this week could be the start for you to send your spellings to us. Well done, everybody. Pause the video and we'll get back onto this week's spellings straight away. Okay, so moving on to this week's spellings. Now, it's going to be a similar pattern to the pattern from last week, but there is a rule difference. So we'll go over the PowerPoint and hopefully it will explain it a bit better for you. And then I'm going to show you a game you can play at home and some activities you might want to do on paper as well if you haven't got the access to playing the games. We'll go over those things together. So let me just share the screen with you to go over our PowerPoint together, if I can just get it up. Here we go. Let's get it from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so this week we are adding a suffix still. So we know a suffix is a bit that we put on the end of a word. The suffixes still begin with a vowel, as they did last week. We've got an extra one this time though. We've got N. So we had ed and ing last week. We've now got N as well here, but they all start with a vowel. And you can remember what your 5 vowels are: A, E, I, O, and U. 5 vowels in the alphabet. To words with more than 1 syllable. So last week our words had more than 1 syllable. Remember, that's the beats in a word. Except this time, the last syllable is stressed. If you remember last week, our syllables were unstressed, which was a really complicated and difficult thing to understand, I think, especially when you're so young. But we did go over it, so I'm going to go over it a little bit again today. So if a word, let's go on last week's words, like garden, garden, the last syllable goes a bit quieter when you're speaking, so we call it unstressed. This week, our words are going to get louder, I would say. So they become more stressed at the end, the last syllable does. And if that happens, we are going to be doubling the final consonant of the word. And remember, a consonant are all the other letters in the alphabet, not the vowels. So there's only 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. A consonant is all the other letters in the alphabet, okay? So when the last syllable in these words this week is stressed, which we're going to find out now, we're going to double the last letter. So let's have a look. Let's go through it together. It's very complicated for year 3. And the English language is very complicated. So you are learning so much, and it's really good if we start using some of this vocabulary. It's very impressive. So let's have a look at these words. What do we notice about them? Forgetting. This is me at the moment. I'm always forgetting something at the moment, especially when I'm working from home and my 2 young children are under my feet. I'm always forgetting something. This is how I walk around all the time, with post-it notes stuck all over me. Post-it note lady. Forgetting. Okay, so let's have a look at this word. Forgetting. Can you see the suffix on the end of that word? What suffix can you see that we've been using? Well done. It's the suffix ing. Can you see ing on the end there? And I can see the root word. Okay, if I'm forgetting something, we could say forget is the root word. Right back to the main part of the word, forget, the root word. So here it is, forget. Now there's forget, and then I've got ing. Can you notice that there's an extra T, an extra T there in that word? Yeah, you spotted it. Well done. So we've got the root word and we've got the suffix, but we've also got an extra letter been plopped in there as well. So let's see if that happens with the other words. Let's have a look. Preferring. Let's have a look. Yeah, so preferring is when you choose something that you might prefer. And this week I actually painted my little girl and my little boy's bedroom, and I had to choose which colour I wanted, a bit like this lady is here, to see which one I would prefer. So let's have a look at this word. So we've got the root word prefer, and we're adding the same suffix ings. Can you see again that? Sorry, children, I had to just pause there for a moment, but I think I was just saying that we've got the root word prefer, we've got the ing here, prefer and ing, but look, we've got another letter, another consonant, it's not a vowel, plonked in there. We've doubled up the R on the end, so we've doubled up the T here, we've doubled up the R here, so you can see what's happening with this rule this week. And another one, forbidden. Okay, that means if you're forbidden to do, it means that you're not to do something. Okay, so you are forbidden to drive down that road. There's a stop sign there which would show us that you can't go down that road. So I forbid you to go down that road is the root word, forbid. And this time we've got the suffix n, en, forbidden on the end. Forbid, un. But look, there's a double D there. There's a D being dropped in. We've doubled the D, the last consonant of that word, that root word. We've doubled it up and then put the suffix on the end. Can you see what's happening here in each of these words? We've got the root word, the suffix, but we've also got a letter being dropped in, which is doubling up the last consonant of the root word. So this week we are adding suffixes beginning with a vowel to words with more than one syllable. We'll go over that again in a moment, where the final consonant is stressed. So when I say the word forget, can you see it's more stressed out when I say the word get? Forget, forgot. So it's quiet to begin with, forgot, forget. Sounds more stressed. That's what it means. So these words, we've got forgetting, forgotten. So we've got the double T and the double T here. Beginning. So the root word is begin, to begin a race. I am beginning the race. We've got begin, we've got ing, and look, we've got another N, the last consonant doubled up, plonked in the middle there. Beginning. Preferring, we've just been over that one, or preferred. I preferred the colour purple over the colour yellow. Beginner, so this is the same root word as beginning, begin. We've got the suffix that we had last week, but look, we've got that double N again because the last consonant in begin is N, so we've doubled it up on the end there. Occurring, when something is happening. So occur, one R is the root word, ing is the suffix, and look, it's doubled up the R in the middle there. Occurred, when something happened. Forbidden, we've just gone over that one. Committed, so we say when people get married, they are committed to one another. They want to stay together. So we've got here the word commit. I commit my life to you when I get married. So we've got it. Then we've added the suffix ed on the end, but look, we've dropped in a double T there to make it committed. Okay, so you can see that all of these words have in common, they've all got a suffix on the end, either ing, ed, or n. I don't think we've got any ends. Oh yes, we have forgotten on there. So they've all got one of those suffixes in, and they've also all got a double letter in the middle of the word, look. So we've got double T, double R, double R, double N, double N, double D, double R, double T, double T. Okay, so you can see it's doubled up in all of them. The only one to be careful of is this one, committed, because it has a double M in it in the root word. So that's a bit of a tricky one, that one, because commit has got a double M in, but we have to put a double T in as well when we add this suffix here. Okay, just be careful of that one. So let's have a look at the syllables. So let's have a look at the root word for forgetting and forgotten. Forget, forget. See how it gets a bit louder? Forget, forgot. 2 syllables. For beginning and beginner, the root word is begin, begin, begin. 2 syllables. In the word preferring and preferred, the root word is prefer, prefer, prefer. 2 syllables. Occurring and occurred, the root word is occur, 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 occur. Can you see how that last bit of the root word comes out a little bit louder when I'm saying it? That's the stressed part of it. Forbidden, the root word is forbid, 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 forbid. 2 syllables. And commit, 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 commit. 2 syllables. So all of these root words have got 2 syllables. You can have a practice of that if you like. And we stress the last syllable when we're reading that word, which is really hard to understand. And sometimes you can't really hear that when you're saying it. But if you practice that, you might be able to recognise how it's different from the word, for example, the word garden from last week. Garden, forget. Can you see how it's slightly different when we say it? Very hard to understand. And is there any change to the root word? Well, yes, there is a change to the root word this time, because whatever the root word ends in, the consonant that it ends in, we double it up. Okay, so forget ends in a T, we double it up before adding the suffix. Begin and it ends with an N, we double it up before we put the suffix on. Forbid ends with a D, we double it up before we put the suffix on. So yes, there is a change to the root word this time. So you can see here, there's the double T. So the word forget, we add another T and then we put the suffix on. Same with forgotten, preferred, preferring, committed, beginning, beginner, occurred, occurring, forbidden. Where the last syllable is stressed, you need to double the final consonant of the word before adding the suffix. Okay, so you add it just like I just said to you on the last slide. So here are your spellings for this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10. I will take away 2 of those words that I think group 1 you will need the least. So you will have 8 of those. Group 2 you will have all 10. And group 3 you will have all 10 plus 2 of your year 3 words as well. They're your spellings for this week. So using those spellings now, I'm going to show you a little game called Spelling Boom that you can play at home using these spellings. So let me just stop the share on there for now. Now for this game, Spelling Boom is a practical game, and ideally you should play it in pairs or in a small group. Now at school that would be easy, but at home we know it's more difficult. So if you've got a grown-up or an older brother or sister that you could play this with, great. But if your grown-ups at home are busy working or they haven't got the chance to do this with you, maybe you could set it up for them and then maybe on another time you could play it.
As I've said to you before in the other videos, children, it is absolutely no good playing this game today and doing the activities I'll show you and then not looking at your spellings for the rest of the week. The idea is if you set this game up now, you could play this game every day to practice your spellings. Or you could play this game, do one of the written activities tomorrow when you've got a spare 5 minutes, do another one on Wednesday, play this game again on Thursday, so that every day you're dipping into your spellings to practice them. There is absolutely no point just doing it once and then expecting to remember the spellings then when you come to do your test on Monday next week, sorry. Monday, it's usually Tuesday in school. So, should we have a little go at playing this game? I can't actually play it because I need somebody to play with. So I can show you and then I can have a go, I guess, just to show you how it works. So you will need some lollipop sticks. Now, obviously, I know that you may not have some of these at home, but I collect everything because I've got 2 young children at home for crafting and all sorts of things. So if you've got some, brilliant. But if you haven't, some paper will do. Now, I just got this out of my recycling bin. It's a really good way of recycling, reusing some things that you would have got rid of. And this is just, I think it's off the bottom of a cereal box or something. So I'm just going to cut some thin strips out of this. They don't have to be very long, about the same length as a lollipop stick. So you can see I've just cut 2 there, same length as a lollipop stick roughly. So you can cut some of those out as well. Remember, it doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be done in any particular way. As long as you've got the same amount of lollipop sticks and the same amount of strips for how many spellings you've got. So group 1 you'll need 8, group 2 will need 10, group 3 will need 12. But also you're going to need an extra couple. So group 1, I'm going to say, in fact, I would say everybody, you need an extra 5. It's probably the best way of doing it. So I'm going to pretend that I'm in group 1. So I need 8 plus 5. Bit of maths for you there. 8 plus 5. So let's get these strips ready. Okay, now I don't have to get all of these ready because I am just showing you. So I've either got my strips of paper or I've got my lollipop sticks. Now, what you need to do with all of those new spelling words, you need to write them on the bottom, on the end of your piece of paper here, or on the bottom of your lollipop stick here. Now, you may have played this before, so you may not need to listen to everything I say, but so I'm going to choose the word forbidden. So forbid, add on the extra D and then the suffix forbidden. You can see I've just written it on the end there. I had to squeeze it in, I haven't left enough room. Beginner. So the root word is begin. Add on an extra N and then the suffix beginner. Like that. So you can see I'm just writing them on the end of the strips of paper. Preferred, prefer, add on an extra R and then the suffix. I've just done one on a lollipop stick to show you there. So I'm not writing it along the whole of the lollipop stick, just on the end there. Make sure you leave enough room. Then what you're going to do is you need a little pot. I've just got an empty cup and you're going to pop all of those in there when you've done them. Now your extra 5 need to say something different. They need to say the word in capital letters, boom. And you need 5 booms in there. This is the game, spelling boom. So I'm going to pop that in there. So now in here, you should have all of your spelling words and 5 booms. Okay, so this is what you do. This pot would go in the middle. So if I was sitting opposite somebody to play this, the pot would be in the middle and we take it in turns to pull one out. Okay, so I'm going to pull one out. Now I would give this to the person opposite me and the person opposite me would read it out. Okay, so I'm going to pretend there's somebody opposite me now. They're going to read it out and they're going to tell me what the word says. So they're going to say, I know what it says, preferred. Okay, so they've said it to me and I've now got to spell it correctly to them. So they're looking at it, I'm not looking at it. So I've got to spell it to them now. So P-R-E-F-E-R-R-E-D. And if I get it right, I get to keep this lollipop stick. This one's mine. Now it's the other person's turn. So they're going to pick one and they're going to show it to me. And I'm going to say it to them and they've got to spell it right. So let's try. So forbidden. And then they're going to spell it F-O-R-B-I-D. Forbid. D-E-N. They've got it right. So they get to keep that lollipop stick. Got it so far? Now, if you're playing with 3 people, you would do the same, but everybody gets a turn, or 4 people or 5 people, however many. But if you pull out boom, you have to put all of your lollipop sticks back in and miss your turn. So no spellings on that one. So now you've got no lollipop sticks in your to hold on to. So you're starting from the beginning effectively. The winner of the game is the person who has the most lollipop sticks when they're all gone. Okay, so you can leave that boom out. One boom's gone, so leave that boom out. So the winner of the game is the person with the most spelling words in front of them, or lollipop sticks or pieces of paper, when the pot is empty. Okay, so whoever pulls out a boom, they put their lollipop sticks back in and the boom gets removed. That makes sense? It's quite a good game to play, especially if you've got a couple of people to play with. So give it a go. It's just a different way of learning your spellings. We don't want you to do the same every single week because we don't want you to get bored, and we want you to be having a little bit of fun. And playing games and coming away from a laptop is the best way of learning, because your eyes will hurt in front of a screen, and we want you to be practical in the way that you're learning. So spelling boom, that's the game I'd like you to try and play. And if you do play it, I want to know who you played with, and so does Mrs. Gray and Mrs. Davies, and we want to know who won with all the spelling words. Now, I know that I've given you a lot of information on that little game there, so what I have done is I've attached the rules of the game in the OneDrive folder for you so that you can have a look at if you want to play it tomorrow or another day. So that is the game I would like you to have a go at this week. I'm just going to open up another page for you. We've also saved in the OneDrive folder the word search with these words and the rainbow words activity sheet, which we've been over with you before. But there is also another activity you can try. So this practically gives you one activity a day that you could be practicing your spellings. Let me just share the screen and see if I can find it for you. Now, this is going to be quite difficult to see because it's small. It's called a spelling maze. So this spelling maze, you can see where it starts here, and this is where it ends. And it says, use your spellings where the last consonant is doubled. So that's what our rule is before adding a vowel suffix, to find your way out of the maze. Only 9 of your spelling words have been used. Which one is missing? So using all 10 of those spellings. So group 1, you're going to have to check back and see all of those spellings, which you can find on the PowerPoint. So what you need to do then is you start where it's starting here, and I can give you a starter here. Quite a nice little game to play. I'll get my highlighter. It starts on a P here, and I can go up or down now, or left or right to spell the first word. And I can see it begins with a P, and I know that we had the word preferred or preferring. So if I go up here, P-R-E, I can't keep going up there. P-R-E-F, P-R-E-F. Oh, that's a bit big, isn't it? Let's make it a bit smaller. Thickness, let's make it that thick. So P-R, oh, it's still quite fat. Why is it so fat? Oh, there we go, that's better. We'll get there. P, oh, it's gone back. E, F. Sorry, children. I think this would be really simple for me to show you. P, R, E, F. And then it goes to F, P, R, E, F, E, R, E, R, R. Well, that doesn't sound right to me. So that can't be right. So if I go down this way, I don't know why it keeps changing the thickness. It's very annoying. P, R, E, F, E, R, P-R-E-F-E-R, prefer. Oh, then it goes to R, so that can't be right. So back I go. Let's try this way. P-R-E-F. You're going to be much better at this. F, you can see my concentration face trying to do this on a screen. P-R-E-F-E-R, prefer. Then double R, there's another R I've just dropped in, and then ing, preferring. There we go, I've made one word. Now I've got to go on to another word. So it looks like it's starting with an F. So we know we had the word forgotten, forgetting. So let's try this one. So F-O-R. If I go up here, I'm going to get stuck. So let's go down here. Get, double T, I, I'm going to go that way, because if I go this way, I'm going to get stopped again. Okay, so the next one begins with a B. So I know I had beginner or beginning. Okay, so I'm going to follow it again. So you're following, so it might be a good idea to have all your spellings written out so you know what you need to look for. Once you find it, you could cross it out. So you've got to get all the way around the maze until you come out at the exit here. Seems, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. But it says there's only 9 of them, so one's missing. So challenge yourself to find the missing word. Which of your spelling words haven't you used? Could you write a sentence containing this word and a preposition? Underline both. That's a tricky challenge to do. So finding all 9, then find the one that's missing and writing a sentence with it with a preposition. And remember that a preposition is a word that tells us something is in relation to something else. So you could say before, after, because of, under, over, those kind of words. So that's a bit of a challenge for you there. So there's lots for you to get on with. Let me just stop that share so you can see all of me. So spelling practice this week: spelling boom, rainbow words, word search, and the spelling maze, which I think seemed really difficult. It was harder for me because I was trying to do it on the computer, but very difficult. And then you've got a sentence to write if you complete the spelling maze as well. So you've got plenty to be getting on with your spellings this week. Try to remember that little trick, that rule: root word, suffix, plonk the last letter in a double letter in the middle of those when you're spelling it. Root word, suffix, 1 extra letter. That's the rule this week. Good luck. I can't wait to hear if you've managed to play Spelling Boom. The rules, like I said, are in the OneDrive, and everything else you need is in the OneDrive as well. Good luck, and your spelling test next week, I'm hoping to see lots of full marks. See you soon. Bye.